Top headlines in the market. Crude oil prices continue to fall weekly as increased interest rates by central banks lead to fear of recession. Prices fell about 5% to an 8-month low on Friday and registered a fourth straight week of declines. Good evening and welcome back to our 𝐏𝐫𝐚𝐧𝐿 channel, where we discuss issues and trends facing the oil and gas industry. If you're new to the channel, kindly like, subscribe and share to stay up to date with the current trends. We welcome back Pranav 𝐿, a seasoned expert in the oil and gas industry. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Zina. It's a pleasure to be back again.
Pleasure to have you here as always.
Thank you.
But before we begin, congratulations on your last week's guidance. Crude prices have now touched $85. The question that follows here is that do you expect some support at these levels?
Thank you, Zina, and thanks to the RexFuels research team, which consistently comes up with deep study, which forms the basis of our assessment of the markets looking ahead. And it feels good to be right on almost every time over the past so many weeks. But the more important thing in terms of, I would like to share as to how we arrive at our analysis and forward-looking assessment. First and foremost is the macros, which is the demand in the supply side. Second is the geopolitical factors which impact the market, and looking at further issues which have not really become headline as of now, but are likely to become. So the markets are going to be reacting in a manner which we try to gauge. And that's where our analysis tells us that the China story is still unwinding. Despite some recent data which could suggest some green shoots, we do not assess it to be very firm in nature. So we still await, which means that China would still continue to disappoint, or at least we need to wait for some more time. So that is a fairly bearish signal for the short term. Second part is the SPR, which is likely to continue still for some more time. So that will still be another bearish factor. Overall demand does not seem to be growing anywhere close to the forecasted level. So all these are very bearish in the near term, which we are saying next 2 weeks or 3 weeks for the moment. And then on the supply side, there are no real concerns. Now, despite the new 8th round of sanctions against Russia, which is being drawn up, the current level of sanctions had not really taken the Russian product or the crude out of the market. It has just got rerouted. So in the coming weeks, we do not see any material change happening to that. So we remain consistent in our assessment that in the next 2 weeks, the prices would be under pressure and it could go further down. So we could even be touching something like below 80s for the Brent. Currently, it is at 85.16, 86.15. So still would be under bearish pressure.
I agree. Research is a must in every field. And I think you and the team have done a great job regarding that. Regarding the market trends as well, the declines seem to be continuing. So I agree with that as well. My next question rather, would be bitumen prices also were reported to be weak, with Indian refineries planning to drop prices by about $25 per ton for next month. Do you see the trend continuing?
Currently, what we are seeing, bitumen prices are following the decline in the crude oil prices. They are following the decline in the fuel oil prices. and the supply situation does not seem to have any concern. And to top it all, the demand from the major market like India has got delayed a bit. When we say demand, it's the demand uptick because the monsoon seems to have extended a bit. So that extension of the monsoon rains had and has had an impact onto the projects on the ground. So it has got deferred by a few weeks, say 2 to 3 weeks. So I guess for the next 2 weeks, it's still likely to be under pressure in terms of further decline. Subsequently, yes, we anticipate a turnaround towards a longer term sustained increase in prices.
Well, thank you so much for being here today, and thank you for your insight as always. It was a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
And thank you all for watching. Continue to like, subscribe, and share. See you soon.